left is we have our question from our good friend 2-Bit Jesus.
Thank you, 2-Bit Jesus. You save us every time on our question segment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
He asked us, have you guys ever soft modded, owned a retro modern system? What are your feelings toward modding systems?
Yes. So I do own a soft modded Wii. I think you do too.
Yep, absolutely.
Which basically, I mean, we hacked our Wii and we run emulators off of it.
Yeah, I mean, we just put a program on a SD card and you put it in there.
Yeah.
I actually made one for my mother as well.
Nice. It's no more than that. It's not that hard. Pretty simple. And then, I mean, you have all the old games. Old Nintendo, old Super Nintendo. I mean, my feelings toward modded systems, I don't know if I have any... I don't know if I care. Like, I mean, if it's your system, if you want to do it, go for it.
So, yeah, well, there's some legalities to that might actually not be true anymore. That, the license you get when you buy hardware, the government's trying to take away that ability.
On hardware?
Yeah, where you can't actually mod your hardware.
Jeez.
But, no, you know, we both soft modded our Wiis after the fact. We didn't do it while the Wii was a big thing.
I did mine 2 years ago.
We didn't do it to be able to download and play Wii games. We did it to play older games.
Yeah.
So I think that's really where the line is, for me at least. I have no problem with emulation when you're emulating a product that is not a current thing. You know, if I want to go out and play, I'm just looking over there. I'm looking at it, trying to find a game that hasn't been re-released. If I want to go play Quest 64, which no one does,
can't emulate it.
What are my options? It might be on the Virtual Console. I'm not sure. But basically, you're either going to have to buy a cartridge, which will probably run you, I don't know, $8-10, whatever. Or you can emulate it through a soft modded Wii or whatever else. I actually have a hard modded PlayStation that I actually got when I was young. Yeah. I mean, because I was like in 6th grade when PlayStation came out, so I would have been in middle school when I got it modded. That actually played PlayStation games when PlayStation games were still being sold. Yeah. But what I was trying to say. You know, if you're doing it while they're being sold, like when the Xbox 360 was big and people were modding their Xbox 360s to download those games and play those current games, you're actually taking money away from the publisher.
Is illegal.
When I emulate a Nintendo 64 game or a Super Nintendo game today, I'm not taking any money away from the publisher. The only thing I'm doing is not buying it on a secondary market. So I think for me the line really comes from what market is that game available on. Yeah. And that does kind of have a gray area with Virtual Console titles. I know some of the games that we've done emulation with.
All the we own games.
Yeah, those obviously we did those. We own I think we actually own everything else.
We have owned all of the games other than our After Dark series games.
Yeah, absolutely, because they cost hundreds of dollars and they're not worth a penny.
They're absolutely true.
But just because we own them, we didn't necessarily play the copy we owned. Sometimes it was just easier to just play it on a RetroPie or something.
It is easier to capture footage on things other than older consoles. Yeah. Even though the Game Capture Elgato stuff has the ability for us to capture old systems, it's easier to just plug in an HDMI cord into it.
And then when it's been available, something I've done is actually play a Virtual Console version, just because it's also easier to do that. Golden Sun, yeah. I played on my Wii U. I actually played on my gamepad for the entire time for the entire game. That's a game that we both own physical copies for. I think you actually played on your phone.
I did play on my phone
for this playthrough.
I played at work on my phone.
Yeah, and I actually played on my Wii U at home. Yeah. So I have no problem with emulation unless you are like torrenting brand new games. If it's something that's been out for a long time, you're not buying new. If it's something that you can only buy used, then I have no issue with it. It's not a big deal. You look back at the original Xbox.
Oh yeah.
Some of the modding capabilities for it were just out of this world.
They were outrageous.
I mean, you could put those hard drives in and put all those games in it. And I know Nintendo has a really hard look for emulation. They don't like it at all.
They hate it.
But
it gets people playing your stuff.
How many of those games can you still buy?
Yeah, I mean, from them, absolutely none.
Yeah, and honestly, how many times do I have to buy the same game before it's acceptable in their eyes for me to download a copy so I can play it on my computer? I mean, the answer is never. It's never acceptable in their eyes. But yeah, if you're playing older games, just emulate it. If you don't have the money to buy it, or you think the price is too crazy, because some of the prices are crazy. Like Mega Man Legends is what I've been playing for Mega March right now, and it costs a lot of money. So I have a legitimate copy. It's just it's on the PSN. It's not a physical copy, because I'm just not going to pay that much money for it.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's that. Yeah, a lot of them are just too expensive, and they're just not worth it. But some other stuff for like modding your system for like video output to change to get a better signal into your TV, or modding one of an NES to have better output into an HD TV. Okay, I don't have a problem with it. I mean, if that's what you want, you don't want to lug around one of these 500-pound TVs anymore.
Yeah. Or case mods, people that mod their cases and actually like turn them into like these pieces of art.
Oh, like the Ninja Turtles and Nintendo.
Oh yeah, that one's awesome. Yeah, I mean those are great. And
those are gorgeous.
I don't have a problem with any of it unless you're stealing current things.
Yeah, I mean if you're out there stealing like Dying Light.
Yeah, if you're stealing something that just came out, and I don't even know if you can. I mean, I'm sure.
That was just an example.
I'm sure you probably can. But yeah, I mean, if you're out there stealing, current technology, things that are currently for sale, then I mean that's wrong. I mean that's straight up stealing. But if you're out there playing Super Nintendo games or whatever, or even PS1 games or even PS2 games at this point, I mean, just go for it.
Yeah, if you're not burning them and selling them yourself.
Yeah, if you start selling them, then you're breaking the law.
Then you're breaking the law. You're crossing that big line.
Just straight up illegal.
I don't have a problem with it.
I would have to ask. Does this mean that you have a modded console 2-bit?
Do you?
You probably should answer that question for legal purposes.
Yeah. Just
except we already answered that question for ourselves, so we're going to jail.
Just type in your answer and all like asterisks or something.
You know what we'll get to do in jail though?
Make videos.
Read a lot about Brad the giant sex squid.
That we will, and we'll also get to meet Brad the giant sex squid.
Unfortunately,
boy,
giant hung like a horse sex squid. But anyways, I guess that's all I have. Anything you have? Anything else?
No, that's it. That's all I've got.
Awesome. Well, thank you all for your time.
Thanks a bunch.
Thanks for tuning in. As always, we love each and every one of you out there.
All of you.
Watch all of our Mega March videos.
Do it now.
I know I am super, super proud of all of them. Clay's solo reviews, our Mega Man 7 review.
Yep.
Are just amazing. X. Our upcoming Mega Man X review.
Yeah.
Every one of them is just really great. I think we've done a great job with it.
We've put a lot of work into these.
Yeah, I put a lot of work into them. And I did. It's definitely started to turn me around on Mega Man. Not necessarily the side-scrolling games.
Damn it!
But the actual character himself. I've always liked Mega Man the character.
Yeah.
But anyways, if you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe our channel. Give us that big thumbs up.
We'll take it.
Our contact information is below. You can follow us on Twitter. We've got the Tumblr thing. I don't know if we still post to that or anything.
Every now and then it goes up there.
We've got a Facebook. We've got all that social media garbage.
We've got
Twitter's probably the best.
Twitter's the best.
Clay does our main account at @_VGBC_.
Yep.
And then I've got my own at Daniel _the Brad. If you want to talk to me directly.
The giant sex squid.
Yeah, Brad the giant sex squid. I'm kind of scared that CC Bonerton might be my friend Clay. But for real, thank you so much for your time. We will see you next time on Video Game Book Club ClubCast.
See you all.